Today's episode, time blindness. Have you heard of that concept before? If you've got ADHD, you probably have. If you haven't got ADHD, you probably can understand what time blindness might be. And it is rife in recruitment. I see it in my office all the time. I see it in my house all of the time. And I want to get stuck into it today because I think there's a few hacks that we can apply that might really help with this, okay? So before we get stuck in, like, share, subscribe, helps us grow. As you know, I say it every single time. Right, what is time blindness? What is it? Look, ADHD, we've all heard of that. I actually looked this up. It affects almost 10% of children and adults up to about 6.5%, 6.7% of all adults will have some sort of ADHD. That is literally over 500 million people. So the odds that you or someone you know in your office has ADHD, diagnosed or undiagnosed, is quite high. I know I am undiagnosed. I 100% have ADHD. And I've just worked out, I've worked out how to deal with that. People in my office, they have it and they tell me all these things. And I found it fascinating. This whole episode comes up because time blindness, I think it's a thief of killer instinct. I think it's a thief of getting things done. And I think it's the thief of making money in recruitment, right? So I want to tackle it. Now, how do you know if you have it? It's pretty much what is written on the box, time blindness. You just have no awareness of time. So if you're late all the time, if you get to the end of the day and you're like, where on earth did the day go? I got nothing done. If, things take twice as long as they do for you that they do for other people, that's time blindness. You're just unaware of the time. It's a thing. It is a thing. And when you know it's a thing, it's actually helpful because you're like, holy shit, I have that. So I want to tell you a quick story. There's someone in my office who most certainly has it. And it's not all the time. It's on specific tasks. And it's funny because as a recruiter, right, you would think that getting on the phone and being on the phone is like, it's the moneymaker, right? We talk about it. Get on the phones, get on the phones, get on the phones. But I would argue to say this guy just talks too much on the phone. He's on the phone for twice as long as he needs to. I'll hear him talk. Amazing on the phone. Amazing with clients. Amazing with candidates. Always gets the job done. But I reckon he can get that done in 5 minutes. Sometimes he'll be on the phone for half an hour. I'm like, why were you on the phone for so long? He's like, I don't know. But I'll hear him talk about the same thing 3 times. So this is a time blindness thing. And so we started looking at that and going, I think there's huge opportunity within this time blindness, because he said, no, I 100% have time blindness. He's ADHD. But I said to him, it's prevalent mostly when you're on the phone because you lose track. You lose track of time and your thought, and he obviously is an energy person, loves being on the phone. So we're tackling that at the moment, and in the last month have seen a remarkable uptick in efficiency, an uptick in billings, an uptick in just overall energy, a downtick in how much actual time he's working. So we essentially, I want to walk you through is if you think time blindness is something you have, if there's someone that is close to you or is listening to this that has time blindness, give them this episode because really it's about training yourself to be more aware of the time. Now it sounds so simple, but it's not. For someone who's got time blindness, it's just not front of mind. It's just not a concept that makes sense. For most people, 90% of people, time is a concept that's ever present. It's there. You understand it. You're on the phone. I've started the call. I'm going to end the call. But I want to give you some hacks now. If you think you've got time blindness, and I'm saying 10% of you will have it, then these hacks are going to be simple to implement, but maybe be astronomical in their outcome for you and your desk. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is be really conscious around singular tasks. Because again, if you've got time blindness, it goes hand in hand with ADHD. So you're probably not that great at juggling things either. So singular tasks are your friend, and having very defined time frames around executing those tasks. So pick any task at your desk. It might be, I've got to interview a candidate. Well, how long does that take you? What do you have an allocated time slot for interviews? So for me, if it's like I have a half an hour window or a 45-minute window generally for interviews. And having that time envelope for interviewing will help you make sure you get through it. And everyone's different. Some people will be an hour. There's no right or wrong time, but have a time frame around the task. It might be, I need to take a reference. So you go, cool, I'm going to max 15 minutes on the phone for this reference, max. And I'm going to spend another 15 minutes max to write the report. So half an hour in total. You put that time, consciousness, and envelope around the task before you do the task, it'll get done a lot quicker. So you're training yourself to be aware of time, right? So conscious singular tasks and putting timeframes around them. A really dangerous place for someone with time blindness to be is in their to-do list, because to-do lists are just checklists of things to do. And you might think, that doesn't make sense. It's keeping you on the straight and narrow. It is, but again, there's no time or clock in that list. So you might jump around, you might do this, someone called, whatever. You come back to it and you get through it. It's not as effective as sitting down at the beginning of your day, looking at your to-do list and grabbing the key items, as most of us do. We go, what are the 3 or 5 things I have to get done today that are going to move my needle? They're the ones you put into your calendar. Okay, I've got to get that done. Put it there. I've got to get that done. Put it there. And when you put it into your calendar, what are you doing? You're giving it a start time. You're giving it an end time. And again, it kind of feeds into that first one. Be very conscious around your singular task. And be very conscious around the time envelopes that you put around it. Okay? So get out of if you've got time blindness, get out of your to-do list and get into your calendar. It will make a massive, massive difference. The other thing you can do is, if you're on like Canvas calls, or if you're on like quick call round, like I'm doing debriefs or whatever, have a clock, have a stopwatch, or have one of those, have your phone, have a stopwatch, have something there that says, okay, you got 5 minutes and it's a countdown. You will get through so much more having just that visual clock in front of you, okay? Because the clock on the wall is, you forget what time it started, whatever. Just have the clock in front of you. You always stop, start. Even just a stopwatch. Can be very, 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 very helpful, okay? Try and shorten your overall day, okay? So time unawareness is also thinking you've got a whole day to get stuff done. And that's the curse. I've talked about breaking your days up into quarters. I've talked about breaking it up into hours. Like just having very defined timeframes helps you get through chunks of work quicker because you're racing to get to the end there, right? So one of the guys in our office, we're actually shrinking his day to be a pure 9 till 3. Like a 9 till 3 is when you do your work. You don't book personal stuff. You don't do da-da. He's got a young family. I said, so that before 9 and after 3, that's your time with your kids and whatever. If you need to do more work and you want to do more work, because obviously we're commission-based, so that's up to you. By all means, go for it. But just know that 9 to 3 is the time you lock in and go, and that's all you have. Because something beautiful happens when you give yourself less time to get a task done. You get more done. You stop fucking around, you become more efficient, and you get more done with less time. It's remarkable. Like, it sounds so simple. And I know a lot of people can't do that because they're in an office and have very prescribed times, but try and reduce your window of time for certain tasks, and my word, your world will open up. You'll become so efficient at stuff. The main thing here too, ADHD is a dopamine deficiency, right? And that's what the meds do. They bring up that dopamine. It's that reward mechanism. So we will thrive, or ADHD people will thrive. If you've got time blindness, you will thrive off dopamine, reward. So what is your little gift when you execute this properly? So if you go, okay, every hour, if I get this next 2-hour run done, I'm going to go and get a coffee, or I'm going to go for a walk over there, or I'm going to go and call my mum, or I'm going to go and, go jump into the ocean, or whatever it is. Have a little reward, like short-term metrics for your success. And the penalty is you don't get to do it if you don't get it all done. Okay? It's actually just, again, consciousness, right? Becoming conscious about time. Your problem right now is time blindness. And today's episode was really just about some simple hacks that you can implement to help you get through more work and not lose time at your desk. Like, share, subscribe. Helps us grow. As always, have an amazing day. May all your deals come true.